Hey friends, how are you doing? Welcome to another ukulele lesson on Sundays. Today we're going to be talking about fingerstyle. I'm going to demonstrate some patterns for the low G tuning and for the high G tuning. Let me know how you're doing out there in the chat. Glad to see so many regular folks join in these live stream lessons, the first Sunday of the month. And I've got some exciting announcements to share with you, but I want to get right into the lesson. So thank you very much for joining me for this session. Let's start by, first things first, hold up your picking hand. For me, that's my right hand. If you play left-handed, then it'll be your left hand. Hold up your picking hand right in front of you, whether you're low G or high G. And what I want you to do is to do two things. We're going to first name the fingers. Thumb is P, I is index, M is your middle finger, and your ring finger is A. Pinky doesn't get a number. As you can see from my diagram, the pinky is bulging. The pinky is worked out from playing the solo to In My Life from last week. And we're going to be covering one of the fingerstyle moments from that solo later on in this live stream lesson. Okay, friends, so that's step one. Name your fingers, P, I, M, A, thumb, index, middle, ring. This is the language used in so many fingerstyle tablatures for ukulele, for guitar, and it's really the international language of fingerstyle. Second step, what I would like you to do is to take your hand and just make it flat like this, up and down. Okay, just right now, hold up your hand like this, and this is one of the fingerstyle secrets. We're going to start bending our fingers like this. We keep them relatively straight, and notice how you can bend using this part of the hand. Okay, so just slowly begin to bend. This is an exercise that will isolate these knuckles, which are moving the fingers as you finger pick. Okay, now you notice as you do this, there's a natural curve over here as well, but this is a very different motion than pulling the fingers from here, right? Now, if we were, doing a bow and arrow, some other action, you would use this knuckle, using a power tool or something, a drill. Zzz. But what we're doing is we're waving from this knuckle right here. Okay, so that's step one, is to name the fingers, P, I, M, A. Second, identify this motion from the third knuckle, which is a lot like a young child, a toddler waving bye-bye. It's this kind of motion. Step three, we're going to get right into playing. Place P on your fourth string, place I on your third string, place M on your second string, place ring on your first string, and just hold them there and come in real close and check your position against mine. Now, everybody's hand's different, everybody's instrument's a little different, but in general, a generalization is that the thumb is a little forward, okay? Not like this. It's like this. It's kind of the way your hand behaves in average everyday life, right? You go to pick up something, and that's how it works. So touch right here, and there we go. We're ready to play a Bossa Nova pattern. Here's the first step, and that is to just push in and just release all the strings at the same time, like this. Yeah, so just try this. And we're going to do this a couple of times, and as we do this, we identify the foundation of all of our technique. Now, we're going to say hi to everybody in the chat. I've got some announcements and a whole lot to share in this fingerstyle lesson, but here we go. Step one. This is going to eventually turn into this. Watch. The ability to play 3 strings cleanly and 4 strings cleanly all at the same time. If you can do this, the world is your oyster, the finger picking world. So check it out. Thumb, index, middle, ring. Double check that you're not touching the string down here, right? You want to be touching close to the tip, about where the nail meets the fingertip. You don't need nails. Can I make that perfectly clear? You don't need nails, friends. You just need your fingertips. Nails will amplify the sound a little bit, give you more clarity, a little more tone color. you can totally fingerpick beautifully without fingernails, all right? If you want to explore nails, I made a whole video on how to trim, shape, and sculpt them and smooth them out with a nail kit and blah, blah, blah. All right, come on, let's play this bossa nova pattern. First step is to make that follow through motion. Yeah, can you hear all 4 strings? Thumb, P, I, M, A, and then all 4. Wonderful. How you doing? This is like a cup of coffee for your finger style. Just wake it up. Boom. Yeah, there you go. And you're gonna find the nice place once you design that connection. You know exactly where your fingertip touches the string. Try to do this on feel, right? At first we look at it, right? We want to get a visual reference, then just go on feel. All right, so let's do 4 strings and then 3 strings. All right, this is the first step of the bossa nova pattern is you pick 4 strings and then you pick 3 strings. Yeah, and at first it can be helpful just to touch, release, and then touch, release. So you really get that moment that you touch is real clear, touch at the same time. Once you practice that way carefully, it becomes real easy just to reach out and touch it and get a smooth sound, right? This is a gentle sound moving from that knuckle. How you doing so far? Are you enjoying this lesson? I've got so much to share with you. If you are digging it, please give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to click the subscribe button. Keep in touch with all the content that I have here waiting for you at this channel, Ukulele Zen. I got some announcements, but let's keep on learning, friends. How you feeling? All 4, 3, and then you're gonna do thumb 3. All right, this is just one of many bossa, samba, Brazilian patterns, but it's kind of like the heartbeat. You get this one down, many others will come from this naturally. Here it is. 1 and 2, E and 3, E and 4, E and 1, E and just open strings, 3, E and 4, E and pinch 3, thumb 3, pinch 3, thumb 3, pinch 3, thumb 3, pinch 3, thumb 3. Awesome. We're going to drill this a few more times. Say with me. 1, 2, say with me. Pinch 3, thumb 3. Come on. Pinch 3, thumb 3. Pinch 3, thumb 3. Pinch 3, thumb 3. And here it is written out on the board. You pinch all 4, then the 3, and then thumb, and then 3. Now this is kind of a primal way to notate it. The rhythmic notation is not in here. This is just to get your fingers used to the spatial awareness of where you're putting them on the strings. And then we can notate the rhythm, but let's just go in a primal way. Just copy, use your voice. 1, E and 2, E and 1, E and 2, E and feel it. 1, E and 2, E and 1, E and 2, E and. Okay, now let's put this together with the strings. Then we're going to add some chords to it, and we're going to have a nice, easy to play bossa. 1, 2, 1, 2. Thanks for joining. 1, 2, 1, E and 2, E and 1, E and 2, E and 1, E and. Try it with an F chord. Very slow, just mellow. Let's go to a G7 chord. G7. Now a G minor 7 chord would be, that's open to 1, 1. Now we're going to go to a C7 chord. And we have a very basic version of The Girl from Ipanema. Okay, the chords are F. Really would be an F major 7. But let's keep it simple at first. F, and then G7. And when she passes, each one she passes goes ah. All right, the chords could be more colorful at first, but what we're focusing on are easy to play chords so we can really give our picking hand the workout it needs. Are you ready to join in? Just follow along. You watch this video as many times as you want. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, E, and again, F, G7. 1 E and a 2 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a F. And if you can, if you're comfortable to, sneak the pinky right there at that 4th fret E, and you get this wonderful major 7 chord, okay? Takes a little bit of curve of that finger. Tall and tan and young and lovely. But get ready to start. Here we go. Tall and tan and young and lovely. The girl from Ipanema goes walking. When she passes each day, she passes. Oh, ah. One more time. When she moves, it's like a samba that sways so cool and swings so gentle. When she passes each day, she passes, goes on. All right, so we've just jumped quickly into a pattern. Let's take our hands off our ukuleles and review this first section before I share with you another pattern which I have some printable graphics for. All right, next, George, your hand like this. Can you make it like into a crocodile? You know? Thank you for being here. Move from these knuckles, right? Touch. So this is a 15-second review, and that's all it takes. So then sit. Find the strings. They're not going anywhere, right? They're going to be in the same place. Find that contact point and then follow through. There you go. And then the pattern was 1 E and a 2 E and. Okay, so these are 8th notes. 1 and this is a 2 E and. So what we have here are 16th notes. 2 E, and this is all tied together, okay? One E and 2 E and okay, very quick notation here. Hope you're enjoying it. Thanks so much. Do I look a little tired to you? Well, if I do, there is a good reason for that. I have some exciting news to share with you, and it's this. I am in the process of building a proper studio for myself. You may have noticed that in the past a lot of my videos have been shot on the side of the road, some of them backstage, various locations, sometimes in the wilderness, sometimes in different rooms. I am finally, with your help, able to build a studio, a proper studio, which is going to mean so much for this channel. I'll be able to have a stable place in which to work and record and offer more and better content for you. So thank you so much to everyone who supports this channel. You can support right now just by clicking the thumbs up button. It does help our channel out very much. It costs nothing to click that subscribe button. And if you're interested in taking it to the next level, if you'd like to join as a member, I currently have a membership site at my Patreon community page. But later this year, I'm going to be launching a new, improved membership. So stoked about that. And there, right up there is the studio. It's going to be soundproofed. So I'll have a stable place in which to work. So excited. It's tiring to do this work. It's time consuming, it's very labor intensive, it's expensive, and it's going to be so worth it because I am just stoked to teach and to share ways of making music that help you to have a more rich and fun time, better experience with your music making. So I hope you stick around for the rest of this video. I have more to share in this lesson. Check out the links in the description below. There is, for the next week, a sale on everything at my website store, including an entire course all about fingerstyle. So if you're enjoying what I'm sharing with you, there are many wonderful courses available for you. Check the links down below. Enjoy that discount code, and I hope everything I've created there really serves you well. Let's get right into it. There is still time to join me for 5 days later this week. I'm returning to the road for the first time in over 2.5 years with a 5-day retreat, and I'll be playing a special concert there and also offering 5 days of workshops, leading everyone in their music making. Really, really excited about that. So thanks very much for joining and for being a member of this community. Thanks so much for your kindness. Thanks for being here. So this bossa nova pattern, hang with this first one. I played it very slowly. It can eventually... There's a lot more to it, but we'll talk about that another time. The thumb steady, 1 and 2. Feel the steadiness of the thumb. So when you go faster, hear that thumb just keep in time. All right? All right, a lot more to share about bossa nova patterns. Let's get into another really cool pattern I want to share with you. And, you know, this last week at the, with the content that I create here on the channel, I try to have everything align with one another. So at the end of the month, I offer a Beatles lesson, and there's always something more to learn in the Beatles lesson. Not only how to strum and play and sing, but some riffs, some chord embellishments. I always like to offer those bonuses to members and to people here just here at the channel watching. This past month was In My Life, and we learned as the bonus the entire piano solo. And then we get to this very tricky part where it goes. And I received a lot of questions at the community about how to play this, so I want to share this with you. Let me just make sure I got the graphics all set up. Good. All right. This is a very, very cool pattern. It has a lot of melodic possibilities. So many that we could spend a whole hour hanging with this one pattern. Let me demo a little bit. So what we're doing is we're essentially keeping the melody with the thumb while there is a pedal point or a single note on top. All right. So there are other ways to apply this kind of pattern, but let's do this in the air first. Pick thumb, then index, thumb, then index. And let's try this out on just the open second string and the open first string. And just go back and forth. We're going to do this slowly, of course, at first. You're still picking from that third knuckle, right up there, swinging through. And just keep a steady rhythm. Now, if you prefer, you can use the middle finger up top. And then eventually, for speed, you can alternate. So you have thumb, middle, thumb, index, thumb, middle, thumb, index. All right, so different combinations. Okay, you can do just fine with 2 fingers at some speeds, but eventually, for more accuracy, you usually alternate the ones on top. Now that's the pattern. What I want to do is share with you, and this is a wonderful thing for melodies and improv, where we have the melody on the low string of the pair. So what we're doing here is we are playing a A at the 5th fret, then the open string, then we're playing the G sharp at the 4th fret, then the open string, then the F sharp, and then the open string, and then the open string, and the open string. Now these notes, if we work upward, E, F sharp, G sharp, and then back to A, they're all notes of the A major scale. So we get this wonderful effect of improvising around the scale. Try this 5 and open. Ready? Now go down to 4 and open, down a fret. Now ready? Go down to your 2nd fret. And then open. Go back up to your 2nd fret. 4th fret. And then to your 5th fret. All right, so we're comfortable with that. Let's go a little faster. Let me demo first. Ready? 2, 3, 4. Just one of many ways this kind of idea can be applied. Right, and you have this droning texture on top. Do you follow? Are you digging this? This opens up a lot of possibilities for the ukulele. Kind of brings out sort of a flamenco or world music aspect to it because there is this droning note on top. A lot of cool things you can do. Now check it out. Let's go a little further and let's go up the string now, okay? From the A at the 5th fret. Let's put our first finger there. And let's work the 7th fret. Let's work up to the 9th fret. Back to the 7. 5. Now we've just expanded the scale. We had these notes all on the 2nd string, and then we have these notes all on the 2nd string, right? Let's go a little higher now. Ready? 5th fret, 2nd string. 7th fret, 2nd string. 9th fret, 2nd string. Now the 10th fret, 1 fret higher. And then finally to the 12th fret. All right, now I know there's a bit of memorization and there's nothing visual out there except for my fingers, but try to follow along. 12, 10, 9, 7, and then 5. All right, so when we put this all together, we have the entire major scale plotted on the 2nd string, starting from E, going up to E, the A major scale. Those notes are, you might want to write this down, open, 2nd, 4, 5, and then it continued, 7, 9, 10, and 12. It's a little bit of memorization at first, but once you get the hang of it, check it out. You see what I'm doing? And this is just the beginning. You know, there's other patterns. Sounds like Mary had a little lamb if played on bagpipes. So that's the droning texture. And this droning texture is a wonderful thing to begin to hang out with. You can do this with any open string, okay? You can do this with any combination of two strings, okay? So remember, it was thumb, then the open string up here. Now, it can also happen the other way around, where the index finger is playing and then the thumb follows. And that's what's happening right here in this passage from In My Life. Now, I know I just shared a lot. You may like to take a little pause, take a breath, and please know that, you'll be able to watch this video many, many times. If you're enjoying this, check out the links in the description below to my online course for fingerstyle and other online courses. There's a discount code of 20% off for this entire week. Now, and this is the kind of careful instruction you receive in those, including, bonus things and jam tracks, and they're good. I think you'll enjoy them. So you start here, and this is your half bar at the 9th fret. And then what we're doing is, this is a challenging passage. That's why I wanted to make this extra video. So what's happening here is, you can see the top note is now the drone, but it's fretted. Okay, so I'm picking the first string, then the pinky at the 12th fret, then the 10th fret. And eventually what you do is you're still hearing this drone note on top, but your mind is a little more focused on the melody notes you're playing. So, this is a much more advanced kind of concept, but it doesn't mean you can't jump in and grab a hold of it. Hold these two strings down. That's step one. Good. Step two is, believe it or not, is let go and find that all over again. Can you find those two notes at the 9th fret again? If you do that 3 times in a row, guess what? You really know how to find those notes, right? Instead of jumping ahead into the future, just master this first bit. All right, it only takes another 15 seconds, but you can see how much clearer you know where you are, right? Next, can you just reach out and touch? You don't have to push much, just touch. And this is probably the trickiest part right here, is that the pinky has to be angled in a way where it doesn't muffle the string, and that can be tricky. All right, so once again, can you do it once? Awesome, but then take it away and find it again. When we interrupt the connection with the instrument, it forces us to find it again. It also offers us a chance to relax and take our time. That's it. And don't let the mind get in the way and beat you up or be mean to you and say, oh, you only know these 3 notes. Well, friend, that is how we do it, one drop at a time. All right, there's no rush. And then we went 10 and 9, and then 9 and 9. Awesome, let's do that again. And you can get really good at this letting go thing. You can let go, and in an instant, you just drop into that relaxed space, and your practice becomes less of a struggle and more of just, hey, I'm sitting in this chair, and I'm learning how to relax around this instrument. Yeah, so it's a very different way of practicing. And one that I have found brings a lot more results and a lot more enjoyment. All right, the rest of this passage is all explained in great detail at the bonus footage at the membership for patrons. Now, in the future, I'm going to be, don't tell anybody at Patreon, but I may be leaving Patreon entirely and creating my own site, which will be much easier to find the content. I'll be able to offer personalized lessons like this. So many new features that I'm exploring, and hoping to launch, planning on launching later this year, like in the fall. So stay tuned for that. In the meantime, my Patreon channel, I do treat it like a membership site. It is, memberships begin as low as $2 a month, and there's all kinds of perks for that tier and also for the tiers above. All right. Thanks very much for hanging. Your generosity is helping me to do things like build a studio, continue to take educational seminars so I can be a better video creator, a better teacher, and I appreciate you being here very much. All right, friends, let's take a little break before we get into the last part. I want to say hi to a few folks, and one of them, Michael, I know is coming to, he's driving all the way from California to Rhinebeck, New York to be with the Ukulele Zen retreat at the Omega Institute. There still is time to join if you wanted to take a trip. It's north of New York City in the countryside. It's an amazing center. We're there as part of the 5-day Arts Week, and we'll be going into a deep immersion into music, into mindfulness practice, and creative play. You make a lot of friends, and boy, do we have a good time at the retreat. It is really high vibes. So if you can make it, be awesome. Otherwise, I hope to offer one in the future someplace else. How you feeling, friends? You want to do a little more fingerstyle? Can we do one more? Now, there's so much to say about fingerstyle. We did those bossa nova. We did this droning pattern. So much that we could explore with all of those patterns. But let's jump into one other one. And this is going to be a syncopated pattern. It's going to be P, M, I, P, M, I, P, M, I, P, M. And if you notice this, it's a group of 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. And this is a very, very interesting pattern. There is some visual aid right here. And we're going to try it over a blues pattern, all right? So hold down your C major chord, please. Yeah, C major chord. Let's see if we can get this a little better positioned here. There we go. So over a C major chord, what we're going to do is we're just going to begin picking out this syncopated bluesy pattern. Check it out. That's just the first chord. I'm going to break this down again, and yeah, I'm playing it slow, just a demo. This is where you go with it eventually. So it's that kind of ragtime bluesy pattern that is one of many patterns that once really known, you can just go to it and mix and match it, and spontaneously you make your own patterns up. But it's important to first get a couple of them really solid. Here it is. Thumb, middle, index, strings 4, 1, and 2. Let me get my high G ukulele out. This is going to be a good one for high G. How you feeling out there, friends? If you're digging it, please give this video a thumbs up. Click that like button. All right, and the rhythm is really important. Thumb, middle, index, thumb, middle, index, and then thumb, middle. That's the pattern, and it's maybe a good step just to get that coordination down before we make it a little more tasty. So let's first bake the cake. Then we're going to ice it. Come on, 2 more times. Thumb, middle, index, thumb, middle, index, thumb, middle. One more time. Really watch it. Really master it. Thumb, or P, M, I, P, M, I, P, M. Yeah, there you go. Thank you, Martin. I appreciate your support as a member. Really, really glad you're here. Thank you. Now we put this with the rhythm, and it sounds a little more like this. Now it should be said that you can change the thumb to the 3rd string if you like. But either way, it's the middle finger accenting that really gives it its rhythmic drive. Okay, can you hear that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. A lot of different ways to add accents to this pattern. This is the first one. Let's not confuse things and add too much. Let's just start by accenting the middle finger. I'm not flipping you off. I am demonstrating this is my middle finger being used. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Try to give that middle finger a little more oomph. Yeah, now let's work this out a little more. Did you notice how I was practicing that? I think you did. This time, I want you to, if you're still playing it and you're going around and around, that's cool. Let's try doing this with space in between each attempt. And there's a very good reason for it. Watch how I demo it and then get ready to copy. 1, 2, 3, 4. Give 4 beats in space. 1, 2, 3, go. Put that space in. 2 more times. Go. 2, 3, last one. Yeah. Now, why am I doing that? It's not that I don't want you to play it all day. Of course, I want you to play this and other patterns all day long. But when we practice things and we, strive for some accuracy, trying to bullseye a target and then stopping, we actually get a chance to assess, did we do it well? Are we gathering tension in somewhere in our body? That space makes your practice at least 70% more effective. There's so much about practicing that I love to share in person at the retreat and in future online classes. The way we practice not only affects directly the results, but how we feel and how much fun we have, all right? So you just held yourself back a little bit. Now let's practice in a different way. Let's try doing 2 in a row and then a little pause. Are you ready? So we build a little endurance here, and then we're going to start to add other chords. 1, 2, ready, here we go. And. So that was 2 in a row. You ready? 1, 2, here we go. And I think you get the idea. By the time you've done it this many times, you're getting very clear on what it should sound like. That space lets you evaluate whether you're doing it correctly, whether your rhythm is crisp, whether your tone is clear, etc., etc. Thank you for hanging. Sometimes holding back a little bit, focusing our practice yields amazing, amazing results, okay? It's like channeling a stream, making it more powerful. Let's try going through these different chords. Yes, Michael, we need to be practicing how to practice. It's really key. So we do C to C7 twice. All right, then we're going to hit an F chord, but we're going to play it up here. And an F7 chord. And that will sound like this. And you notice how that top string, where the middle finger's playing, there's a different note midway. This is the second measure of this line. 1, 2, here we go. And then we go back to C. And now when we get up here to the G chord, we bar at the 7th fret. And we play that pattern. And now we go down 2 frets to play that same F to F7 thing, but it happens within 1 measure. So it's going to be... See that? Only 1 stroke of the M on that pinky note. And what I'm doing right here is not only repeating it, but I'm modeling that idea of Just do it once. Take your hand off, smile, give yourself a pat on the back. Come on, you showed up, you know? You showed up for your music. And then this ends with a tasty little turnaround. Pick the fourth and the third and the first string. And that's just an old Robert Johnson Delta Blues turnaround. Open 3, right down here, bottom of this line. Open 3, 3, 3, 2, 2, 1, 1, open. This finger stays in place while these notes move down. Put them together. And then finally, a little turnaround of these two chords as A flat 7 to G7. All it is taking your G7 and moving it up 1 fret and 1 fret down. Now, I don't mean to talk too much, friends. I'm just trying to be clear so everybody can join in. I hope you're enjoying what you're seeing so far. Let's jam the entire thing. We've practiced the pattern. We practiced a bit about how to practice it. Now let's put it all together. Thanks so much for joining me. Now, if you want to study more fingerstyle with me, check out the links below. There's all kinds of courses. There's a discount. And I really appreciate you being here and just spending a little time with me. It means so much. Music is our refuge. Let's relax into our practice. 1, 2, 1, 2, a few times around. Up to 5th fret bar. Oh, oh yeah. Not an easy passage to play, I must say, and it all uses this pattern. PMI, PMI, PM. Not the easiest passage to play. But good news, you hang out with this for a while. You master this. And then when you're singing and strumming a blues in the key of C, you're going to have a really tasty fingerstyle solo. Right? This can be your whole solo. Just play this. If you're lucky enough to have a harmonica player in your band, in your group, have them blow a little harmonica while you play this. You can have a very nice contrasting solo section, and then you can go back and strum and sing out the rest of the song, whatever the song is. It might be your own original blues, you know. So, let's do this one more time. The pattern again is last time, P-M-I, P-M-I, P-M. Remember what I said earlier, we want to be accenting that middle finger. Just giving a little more oomph to the string. Always moving from that 3rd row of knuckles. And you can change the string up. Change the string up with where your thumb is playing. These are meant to be templates for you to personalize, okay? Are you having a good time so far? Thank you so much for joining. Thank you very much for subscribing to this channel, for being part of what I offer here at Ukulele Zen. All right, let's do this one more time, then we'll take a few questions and sign out. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, go. So, We can always change things, modify them as they need to be. Damien is asking a question. What does this sound like in the key of G? Well, for one thing, you could just play your open chords. See how that sounds. Now, here, notice, Damien and everyone, I'm playing thumb, middle, index, over the G, thumb, middle, index, then my thumb moved to here. So my first group, 1, 2, 3, my thumb is on the 4th string. Then it moves over to the 3rd string. And that's something that takes a little getting used to. See, my thumb is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Very helpful if you think about this pattern in terms of a group of 3, a group of 3, and a group of 2. It's all one bar of 8th notes. So that's another cool pattern you can use. Just keeping it simple, because what we're doing is we're accompanying songs, so we're not trying to do too much. Just keep a nice rhythm. Well, I woke up this morning, rainbow filled the sky. Well, I woke up this morning, rainbow filled the sky. That was the Lord telling me everything gonna be alright. Any more questions before we wrap up today's session? I want to say thank you for joining me. Please drop your questions in the comments of this video. Many thanks to everyone who is supporting this channel as a member of the community on Patreon. Please remember that later this year, I'm going to be launching a new membership platform. It's going to be so much better than what I have at Patreon. Don't get me wrong, lots of good things there, but Patreon is not designed to be a membership site. It's designed to be a crowdfunding means of support. I do my best to offer something like a membership there. My own membership site will have so many more perks for you. Really excited to share how that's developing as we move along through this year. So friends, I appreciate you joining me. One other thing, for those of you who follow what's going on here at the channel, you probably already saw this in the post at Patreon, but next Sunday, instead of meeting here for our patron Q&A, I will be at the Zen retreat. I will be leading 5 days of mindfulness and music and creative games at the Omega Institute. So we will meet not next Sunday, but the following Sunday. So third Sunday of the month is when the members Q&A, little private session where you can beam in and be a video guest and ask me questions directly. That will be next 2 weeks from right now. All right, Franks. Thank you very much for joining me. Lots in this video, so you can watch it again. We did the Bossa Nova pattern. We did this blues pattern. We talked a little bit about some droning textures. And there's so much more to go into as well. At the links in the description below are some more courses and a discount that's valid for this entire week if you want to take advantage of that. Thanks so much, everybody. Wishing you a beautiful summer day, beautiful June day, and I appreciate you watching my channel. Wishing you all the best. Happy jamming, everybody, and good health. Many blessings to you and your family. Thanks so much. I will see you soon. Take care.